This is part 2 in the video series on Unit 1 Number Theory, an introduction to working in the units in Math 1046. So in the last video, in part 1, we looked at the expectations for Math 1046 and how the evaluations are organized in Math 1046. So we have just completed the 1-week refresher, and now we have moved into Unit 1 Number Theory. And from now on, we'll be working within the Math 1046 outcomes. And you can see that there are 5 units that are listed here in the table of contents. And each of these units are organized in the same way. So you'll get used to how the units are organized and where to find things. So first of all, always start up at the top of the unit. You can see that each unit is going to have the outcomes of that unit listed. So you can read through the outcomes to see what skills you can expect in that unit. And we also have the textbook listing, section P.1 to P.5. So that includes everything in between P.1, P.2, P.3, and P.4. That's the chapters, that's the chapter we're starting in. Those are the textbook sections that cover these outcomes for this unit. So that comes up when you access the unit. Then what you do is you scroll down to Unit 1, What to Do. This is the document where everyone should start in D2L. Click on that document, and it's going to give you the total overview for the unit. It's going to explain the unit, explain any technology that you're going to be using in that unit. It's going to tell you what you're expected to complete, so your textbook self-study, chapters P1 to P.4, and you can see that we do have that PDF of Chapter P available to you under Resources, and I also linked it in the newsfeed as well. We talk about using the Unit 1 resources in D2L, the Math Lab homework assignments. Whoops, just gonna, there we go. And the Unit 1 assignments are here. So the Unit 1 assignments are always listed in the study guide. So if you are worried that you might be missing an assignment, you can always look to this What to Do guide to make sure that you're covering all the things that you should be covering. So in our Unit 1 assignments, we have our My Math Lab homework assignments. Those are worth 30% of your mark. You have your discussion assignment, sticky questions. That's worth 10% of your mark. Completing the My Math Lab pretest, and you have 2 attempts, that is 10% of your mark. And then you have your My Math Lab Unit 1 test. This is a take-home test. So of the 5 units, 2 of the tests are proctored and 3 are take-at-home tests, and we talk about that here. And I'll be talking a little bit more about those tests a little bit later, but that information can be found in this What to Do document. And lastly, you're going to complete a reflection discussion assignment also in D2L. And all together, your D2L assignments are worth the 10%. So once you've read through that document, and you can print it off if you like, you can go back into number theory. And now you should have a good overview of what's expected in that unit. The next thing that you do is work from the textbook. I always suggest, instead of going right into the My Math Lab homework and starting working on assignments, start in the textbook. And the reason why I say that is that it's a good way to get a nice overview of the skills that you're going to be working through, and the textbook does a great job of connecting one skill to the next and building on those foundational skills and working up to the new skills that you are working through. And I recommend doing one section at a time. And you can see here under Resources, each of the sections in the textbook are supported by some resources. Let's look at section P.1. Let's say that you've gone into your textbook, you're starting with P.1 and you're starting to work through the material, and you think that you could use some more practice or some video support. Click on this Resources, and up will come a list of videos following the examples in the textbook. And also there are some worksheets. These worksheets are for practice only. Each of them come with answers so that you can check your answers right away, and these aren't to be passed in, they're just for your use if you want to use them. So each section in the textbook has accompanying videos and worksheets that you can use to help solidify the concepts that you're working on in the textbook. So I'm going to go back up to the unit again. So again, those resources of the videos and the worksheets are found under resources, and they're all organized by section, textbook section. So if you start with the textbook and start your learning in the textbook and then move to the resource section when you need a little bit of added practice or a little bit more video support, when you think you're ready after that, you can go into My Math Lab, and I'm going to show the My Math Lab side in the third video of this series. But right now I just want to show you the D2L side of Math 1046. At some point when you're feeling confident with your unit skills, if there is an assignment, you can go and do the assignment. So for this unit, we have a sticky questions assignment, and this is a discussion assignment. And you can see that the instructions for the discussion assignment are down here, and the learning outcome for Unit 1 is, for this discussion assignment, is to simplify mathematical expressions using the rules of order of operations. And to complete this assignment, you're going to post in the discussion assignment. And we tell you how your mark is going to be given, and there's an example as to what to post as well. So you can see that information all in this sticky questions assignment. And when you go to post, you just click on the assignment title, and you can see that that information is repeated on this page, but at the very bottom, when you're ready to post, you can click on Start a New Thread, and that's where you create your post. And if you'd like to see how that is going to be marked, you click on this rubric, and you can see that it's going to show you exactly where your points are going to come from for this discussion assignment. Now, not all units have an assignment in D2L. You'll have to check that in the unit What to Do guide. But for number theory, we do have a sticky questions assignment, which is a discussion. And we also have a reflection. So you keep scrolling down until you hit the bottom, and you can see that we have a Unit 1 reflection discussion. And again, the instructions are in this discussion here, what to reply in your mark. And again, you just click on the title of this discussion assignment and then click Start New Thread, and then answer the questions that we ask in the What to Post. And then the very bottom of every unit is a Got Questions section. And this is where you post your questions about the unit. These can be questions from your My Math Lab homework. These can be questions from the exercises in your textbook. It can be a question from a video that you've seen. It can be a question from your My Math Lab homework or your My Math Lab pretest. Any type of question here goes, except for maybe those of a more personal nature. Please do send those to me via email. So that's generally how units are organized in Math 1046. If I move to Unit 2, Polynomials, you'll see that again we organize it with the textbook sections first, the outcomes, the what to do document, the My Math Lab links to your homework and your quizzes and tests. Your video and worksheet resources are down here. This one has a discussion assignment to complete. No reflection for Unit 2, but there is a Got Questions discussion that you can post your questions to. And in closing, I'd like to emphasize that students that have the most success in Math 1046 do look at their textbook and start with the textbook. Start with D2L before jumping into My Math Lab. My Math Lab is a great tool for learning the material, but it's not the end-all be-all of the resources. So please do check out your D2L. Start at the top of the unit and work your way down. Do have a look at the study guide to make sure that you're covering everything. and make sure to look out for those D2L assignments that, that are in the units. Well, that's it for part 2 of this series. In the next video, part 3, our final video in the series, we're going to look at the My Math Lab side to the unit. Thank you for watching.